The front was quiet, but the silence whispered lies beneath breath. Rumors said Germans wore stars tonight, ghosts in borrowed colors. Their uniforms were perfect, their faces unsure beneath icy resolve. Password, he barked, breaking dawn's fragile peace in the snow. The pause stretched forever, suspicion cutting sharper than the wind. Metal betrayed them, deception cracked like frost beneath boots. Truth exploded first, bullets second, both colder than mercy. They wore enemy cloth, but fear made every uniform the same. He caught the enemy, but doubt had already caught him. Headquarters called it espionage, Creel called it madness in snow. October 1944, Hitler's desperation drew new lines across dying Europe. He'd freed Mussolini, now he'd impersonate the very army he hated. Antwerp or annihilation, he said, trembling between prophecy and delusion. Even history seemed to watch their madness with frozen disbelief. He obeyed not faith, but momentum orders moving faster than conscience. Across Germany, soldiers volunteered for suicide dressed in borrowed pride. They thought translation work, not masquerade behind enemy lines. Howdy, pal, they yelled, sounding both ridiculous and terrifyingly determined. Baseball, Coca-Cola, Betty Grable. Needles whispered betrayal into every fiber of imitation. Steel beasts pretended friendship, clumsy actors on frozen stage. Identity was forged in metal, built in every reflection. Remove disguise before battle, he warned, or die as ghosts. He saluted himself, uncertain which side he represented anymore. Operation Grief began, a masquerade advancing faster than morality. Deception worked best when wrapped in exhaustion and freezing trust. Culture rehearsed like prayer, ignorance meant death in translation. Every word weighed life, every syllable could summon a bullet. Roads lied now, truth paved over with deliberate confusion. War became theater, but no one remembered who wrote the script. Rumors spread faster than bullets, choking command in static fear. Even allies sounded foreign when terror froze their tongues. The front dissolved into riddles about baseball, geography, and faith. Paranoia promoted trivia to national defense overnight. He knew the capital of Illinois, but his interrogator didn't. Who won 1940 World Series? Even allies failed quizzes in a war testing humanity's memory. Movement died where doubt lived, fear clogged the arteries of war. "We're fighting ghosts," he said, "not Germans ourselves." Their plan devoured itself, confusion feeding on its creators. He'd fooled everyone but himself. Guilt offered no warmth. The announcement spread like frostbite through already frozen hearts. No one knew who shot first, only who survived longest. Strategy melted under heat of hysteria and smoke. Brotherhood ended where pronunciation began to sound foreign. He'd caught spies but lost faith, unsure which victory mattered. The general became prisoner of his own protection. Faith filled gaps where logic froze beyond repair. Freedom slowed to crawl under weight of its own defense. In silence, he realized the war had moved inside their minds. Truth wore enemy colors, surrender wore borrowed boots. No uniform could cover the trembling of a condemned man. Obedience had no language, only echoes of survival. Mercy died when uniforms changed. Justice marched in circles. Sentences written in ink colder than execution morning. History's curtain lifted for its quietest, cruelest act. Aim true, they were told. Truth must be precise today. Faith was last refuge before the rifles spoke. The masquerade ended in silence, not applause. He'd won nothing, yet felt condemned by his own success. Even victory's illusion couldn't survive the weight of reason. The offensive ended not in defeat but exhaustion. Every vehicle carried ghosts of mistrust and misunderstanding. Justice printed fast, context buried slower. His wound bled less than his conscience. He'd survived assassination by fear alone. Faces erased, names etched forever beneath snow. The masquerader unmasked by peace itself. Time punished slower than law ever could. The accused wore composure like his last disguise. Even allies admitted deception was universal currency of war. Law drew lines between disguise and deceit. Injustice or justice, both sounded identical that morning. Freedom felt lighter than guilt, but only just. War's costumes discarded, only scars remained genuine. 17 actors buried beneath identical scripts of loyalty. We all wore masks, some just fit better. Peace advanced cautiously, step by suspicious step. Legends fade quickest when truth follows close behind. Every war begins with certainty and ends with irony. Silence returned, heavier than gunfire ever was. He'd survived lies, but lost his taste for truth. Identity survived war, barely. Life resumed, pretending it had never paused. History resets softly, as if forgiving itself. Freedom meant nothing once disguise became second nature. He moved forward while history receded behind glass. Peace tasted of tobacco and unfinished apologies. He died certain of nothing, except that trust kills slowly. Names correct, causes blurred, silence absolute. Tomorrow's innocence always inherits yesterday's disguise. Triumph aged poorly, like propaganda left in rain. Ideology ends quietly, with no audience left to cheer. Smoke and memory vanish at the same pace. We won the war, but lost the meaning of uniforms. Nature forgets faster than men ever forgive. The world breathed again, cautious, uncertain, still alive. Enemies rest closer than allies ever stood. Every mask leaves a scar beneath its edge. Peace arrived disguised as silence, beautiful, temporary, and cold.